board. We arrived in Darwin. They wouldn't let us ashore because we were still in quarantine. We arrived in Singapore just in time to go ashore. And then on to Colombo. From there on, we were based at Colombo, but picking up convoys from Fremantle, taking them up to the Red Sea, and then dispersing the convoy through the Red Sea. Later on, we were based in Aden, and we were then taking convoys from Colombo across up the Red Sea. We were in the Red Sea for 6 months. And the Italians at this time had come into the war, and they had 2 ports in the Red Sea called Assad and Massawa. Each of these ports had submarines. Rumour has it these submarines were providing electricity for the village, port, surrounds and so forth, as well as fresh water, condensed water. And every now and then they'd slip out. If there was a convoy, they'd pick out the poor old Greek tramp who'd be straggling at the end of the convoy at 6 knots, and you'd hear a bomb in the middle of the night. He'd be gone, and the sub would duck back into port. Well, all convoys were timed, well, supposedly timed to pass these ports at night, which on the whole happened, but every now and then, due to the speed of the convoys, it just couldn't be managed. But the Red Sea in the summer is not a place to be in a ship which isn't air conditioned, built for North Sea condition. The engine room and boiler rooms were up to 170 degrees. The stokers had to wear shoes with wooden soles because the leather on the grating just perished. And every hour or so they had to come up on deck for fresh air. So this was the conditions in summertime in the Red Sea. We were there for 6 months, going backwards and forwards up the Suez, then back again. But distinctly, the convoys were huge, the big ones. Queen Mary, Queen Elizabeth, Mauritania, Dominion, Mali, Ile-de-France, they were all there doing magnificent sight at sea. The Queen Elizabeth used to be sent to Trincomalee, which was a naval base in the north of Sri Lanka. While it was there, the Queen Mary used to be put into an atoll, which is just south of Colombo, called Ado Atoll, which I suppose had a seaboard of about 6 feet, but very, very deep water. And to see this ship in this atoll, you just think it was floating on this island of sand. It was absolutely a magic picture. That's how they juggled the two ships. After the Italians surrendered, of course, there was no need to escort Queen Mary because she could outspeed most of the escorts. And we used to let them go at the entrance to the Red Sea. And away they go. You'd see the bow wave increasing, and the stern wave increasing, next moment, puff of smoke, the way they go. But in the meantime, the Italians had advanced overland through British Somaliland. They'd overtaken Ethiopia and they were advancing towards the coast. So the British army was in retreat, the Camel Corps, the Bengal Lancers, and Hobart was appointed as a senior ship to supervise the evacuation. That was quite something. The harbour, or the port of Berbera was the main port, just a little settlement, had a wireless station, a few houses. And from there we contacted the British Army, and we had a few cargo ships, store ships, ready to take people off. The British Army came aboard wanting to know, did we have any anti-tank guns? The anti-tank guns unheard of in the Navy. You had a choice of 6-inch or 4-inch, or the 3-pounder saluting guns. So they decided to take 2 saluting guns. Call for volunteers. There were three blokes stepped forward under Petty Officer Jones and 2 ABs. So they were given the 3-pounders plus empty 45-gallon drums, plus a stack of cement, into which they were to mount the guns. There was a pass just on the outskirts of Berbera through which the Italians were expected to come. So the guns were mounted at this pass. I think they had 12 rounds of high explosive. No one's expected to use these things except for saluting purposes. So the Italians came and they opened fire with these. They knocked out a couple of tanks which blocked the pass momentarily until the Italians came through, and the 3 blokes were captured to be taken to Italy. And the Italians came on overran Berbera. In the meantime, Hobart, there's a very high wind blows off the desert. Kahula or Kahala, I can't remember. Very, very strong. In fact, it's very hard to stand up against it. So much, it blew so hard that the ship started to drift, dragged its anchors, let go of the starboard anchor. That's still. So we were sitting having breakfast one morning, then went up, listed over. We're high and dry on a sandbag.